How to fix RTX 4060 black screen crashes in Counter-Strike 2. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are diving deep into a severe system crash issue affecting Counter-Strike 2 players running modern hardware like the RTX 4060, paired with Ryzen processors. During our analysis of this specific crash, we observed that both main and secondary monitors lose signal completely while in the game. Simultaneously, connected peripherals like the keyboard and mouse lose power and their lights turn off. Yet the PC case and internal components continue to run without interruption. At Teknobalta, we tested various scenarios to isolate this hardware and software conflict on a system running a Ryzen 7 5700X, 16 GB of RAM, an RTX 4060, and a 1 TB SSD. By following our comprehensive step-by-step diagnostic process, we will stabilize your system and get you back into competitive matchmaking. Our team found that the simplest initial diagnostic step involves physically resetting the connection between your GPU and monitor. While the black screen crash is actively occurring in the game, unplug the display cable from both the monitor and the back of your computer case. Wait a few seconds, and then firmly plug the cable back into both ports to force a hardware handshake refresh. This quick hardware reset can sometimes immediately restore the display signal and bypass the temporary blackout. Outdated or corrupted display drivers are a primary culprit for complete signal loss during heavy gaming workloads. We strongly recommend that you keep your graphics card drivers fully up to date to maintain stability. However, simply updating is not enough. You must perform a clean installation when setting up the new software. This ensures that all legacy configuration files are wiped out, preventing underlying driver conflicts from triggering the crash. To guarantee a truly clean installation, we utilize a tool called Display Driver Uninstaller in Windows Safe Mode. This application aggressively removes every trace of your current NVIDIA driver from the Windows registry and file system. After restarting your PC, download and install the latest RTX 4060 drivers directly from the official NVIDIA website. Through extensive testing, Teknobalta discovered that power delivery management is often the root cause of the peripheral power loss and display blackout. You need to change your operating system's power settings to ensure your components receive uninterrupted voltage under heavy load. Navigate to the Windows Control Panel, open Power Options, and select the High Performance Power Plan to prioritize hardware stability. Because this crash causes the keyboard and mouse to shut off while the PC remains running, we must address USB power management directly. Inside your High Performance Power Plan, click on Change Plan Settings and open the Advanced Power Settings menu. Locate the USB Settings drop-down, find the USB Selective Suspend setting, and change it to Disabled to prevent Windows from cutting power to your peripherals. Next, we need to stabilize the power delivery directly to your RTX 4060 through the motherboard slot. In the same Advanced Power Settings window, expand the PCI Express category and locate Link State Power Management. Switch this setting to Off, which stops the system from dynamically reducing PCIe power and causing signal drops during gameplay. We must also force the graphics card itself to prioritize stability over energy efficiency at the driver level. Open the NVIDIA control panel by right-clicking your desktop and navigate to the Manage 3D Settings menu. Scroll down to Power Management Mode and change it from Normal to Prefer Maximum Performance. Corrupt game files or a botched initial installation can trigger severe system-level hangs that mimic hardware failures. If adjusting the drivers and power settings does not fully resolve the problem, you should completely uninstall the game from your drive. After deleting any leftover local configuration folders, download and install a fresh copy of Counter-Strike 2 to ensure all core engine files are intact. If you want to avoid a full reinstallation right away, you can use Steam's built-in verification tool as a preliminary step. Right-click on Counter-Strike 2 in your library, go to Properties, and select the Installed Files tab. Click on Verify Integrity of Game Files to allow the platform to scan and replace any missing or corrupted data. Since this specific hardware configuration involves a Ryzen processor, communication between the CPU, USB controllers, and the PCIe slots is handled by the motherboard chipset. Visit the official AMD website and download the latest chipset drivers for your specific motherboard socket. Installing these updates resolves known USB dropout issues and significantly improves overall system stability. An outdated basic input-output system can cause critical communication failures between the motherboard and newer RTX 40 series graphics cards. Check your motherboard manufacturer's official support website for the latest BIOS version available for your specific model. Flash the update using a USB drive to ensure maximum hardware compatibility and enhanced PCIe lane stability. Windows includes a feature designed to reduce latency, but it can sometimes cause system hangs with specific rendering engines like Source 2. Navigate to Windows Settings, select System, then Display, and click on Graphics Settings. Toggle off hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling and restart your computer to apply the change and observe if the crashes stop. Similarly, Windows Game Mode attempts to optimize background processes, but can occasionally conflict with aggressive anti-cheat systems or game engines. Open your Windows settings and search for Game Mode in the search bar. Toggle the game mode, switch to the off position to prevent the operating system from interfering with CPU resource allocation while you play. Corrupted shader caches can cause the graphics driver to panic and output a black screen when loading specific visual assets in Counter-Strike 2. Open the Windows Disk Cleanup tool, select your primary system drive, and check the box next to DirectX shader cache. Click OK to delete these temporary files and force the game engine to compile fresh shaders on the next launch. Windows full-screen optimizations try to create a borderless windowed experience, which can sometimes crash the display driver during Alt-tabs or intense rendering moments. Navigate to your Steam library folder, find the Counter-Strike 2 executable file, right-click it, and select Properties. Under the Compatibility tab, check the box that says Disable Full-Screen Optimizations and click Apply. In-game overlays hook directly into the rendering pipeline and are well-known triggers for black screen crashes and stuttering. Open your Steam client, go to the General Settings menu, and navigate to the In-Game tab. Uncheck the option to enable the Steam overlay, while in-game to remove this potential point of failure from the software stack. You can force Counter-Strike 2 to launch with specific parameters that might bypass the crashing behavior entirely. Right-click the game in Steam, go to Properties, and locate the Launch Options text box. Type in Vulkan to force the game to use the Vulkan rendering API instead of DirectX 11, which often bypasses stubborn NVIDIA driver hangs. We must also verify the physical power delivery from your power supply to the RTX 4060 graphics card. Shut down your PC completely, unplug the main power cable from the wall, and open the side panel of your case. Disconnect and firmly reconnect the PCIe power cables to the graphics card, ensuring there is no loose connection causing a voltage drop under load.